So what happens after CPS files a report after the investigation in California? Well, once they do have conducted the investigation, which includes talking to you if you have communicated with them, talking to your child if you consented, or if they spoke to them in school within a reasonable amount of time, and maybe talking to other collateral witnesses, they then decide whether or not they want to open up a case in court. Also known as filing a petition, where having the court involved because they have reason to believe that without court intervention, the parents cannot get quote unquote better. However, just because they file a petition does not necessarily mean it is a valid petition. And his very first court hearing, when they filed the petition, is a detention hearing, also known as an initial hearing. A detention hearing is a court proceedings where the court decides whether or not your child is going to be remained removed from your care, or whether or not your child is going to be released to your care. There's a lot of arguments that can be presented to the judge in determining whether or not your child should be released to your care if they have removed it prior to the court hearing. One of the most prevalent and strongest argument you have is, did the CPS worker make reasonable efforts to prevent removing your child from your care? That means if there was some type of problem that led CPS to remove your child, did the social worker reach out to try to resolve that problem with you, such as creating a safety plan that allows you to keep your child in your care? A good example is if there's domestic violence between two people, whether they're arguing or committing some form of physical altercation. Did the social worker ask who is the aggressor, or make the determination that there is an aggressor and the aggressor needs to leave? Did they provide that option where your child could remain in your care? Did the social worker provide you an option if you were to file a restraining order, if this person is dangerous, then you can keep your child? These are reasonable efforts to keep your child in your care that the social worker typically must exercise. And if they don't, the judge can make a decision that the department did not make reasonable efforts and should have, and really should, and there are reasonable means to release your child safely. At Child Law Firm, we're here to help, defend your rights, but also fight for your children.